Happy 4th of July, everybody. I am Mark Ford. This is Stream of Card Consciousness, where we talk about sports cards and all kinds of other crazy stuff. And as always, I'm joined by my friend, my brother up in the Panhandle, Greg Smith. How you doing today, Greg?
God bless America. I'm doing great. How you doing, Mark?
Right on. Same thing.
I got
Happy
I got
day.
the
Yep, I'm all
patriotism.
about the America hot dog. I got a hot dog right here, nothing more than the 4th of July. We've been cooking all day, but I love America, man. And
Me too.
it's a good day. I got the flags out and we're gonna blow up some shit tonight. And I'm the Florida man tonight and
Just
do
careful of your fingers, man. Don't come back with
I
five
need
fingers.
them. I need them. I need them. But yeah, I don't have anything too huge, but I'll be careful.
Good, good. Yeah, it's hard to get the really big stuff in Florida unless you have it like mailed to you because they got some pretty tight restrictions on our fireworks. So
Well, it's
uh,
also like, for one artillery shell, it's like $300. So that's a little out of the budget.
right, right. Yeah, it's not cheap for sure.
Mhm.
Well, we've got some stuff to talk about today. I'm excited. I've got some cool stuff to show. I know you probably do too, and
Oh, yeah.
we'll get into some pet peeves we have with the groups and with stuff. So why don't you lead off? Show us what you got
Okay.
this week, Mark.
Yeah, real quick. On my birthday, is my daughter's quite the artist, Harley Ford. If you want to check her out, it's Hartley Art by Harley Ford is her website and everything. But she made me this custom satchel page.
That's
And
really really cool.
yeah, it's a 1 of 9.
Can you take it? Can you take it out of the
Take it
holder or
out of
not
the
really?
holder because there's the glare. Because you can really, yeah, when you take it out, you really see how
Oh wow,
friggin' that's
that's
just
amazing.
incredible.
Yeah.
So she made me that, and it made me cry. I'm not gonna lie. So it's just incredible. She did a Hank Aaron for me a few years ago, and and part of this is because of how pissed I was about the bobblehead. Remember the bobblehead? And he looked like
Oh yeah, yeah,
they made him look like a cartoon, and
yeah.
that is Satchel Paige.
A
So
1930s cartoon. Yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't
no,
good. What
and
so when's your birthday? Let everybody know when your
it
birthday
was
is.
June. It was past. It was
Yeah,
June
yeah.
17th, but that
Okay.
was my birthday for my daughter. And then being a teacher, history, English, my big thing is the Berlin Wall and
Yeah.
Reagan and at the Brandenburg Gate and Mr. Gorbachev tear down this wall. We actually a couple times a year we'll play that in my room, and it's pure Americana and
Right.
tour de force, especially with today being the 4th of July. I want to mention that if you ever want to be inspired, whatever side you're on, red, blue, Democrat, Republican, put it aside, go watch Reagan at the Brandenburg Gate. And if that doesn't give you goosebumps and chills, then you're not an American and you can go someplace else. But my last card is is I'm a fan of like the Garbage Pail Kid, Adam Bomb, and that's the age you grew up in with the great nuclear threat. So this is a new one, and that's Adam Bomb at the Berlin Wall.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. And
Yeah, I remember Adam Bomb. Well,
yeah,
they had
so I do have
those garbage pail kids
I
were
have
awesome.
an atom bomb, but this is new. It just came out. So they're atom bomb at the fall of the Berlin Wall. So the series is atom bomb through history.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool. There's like atom bomb at Pompeii and atom bomb all over the place at the launching of like rocket. It's just crazy. And it's funny as hell. And I really like that. And that's the kind of stuff that I like when I'm not doing baseball and Hank Aaron and all that stuff. And then finally, my daughter Dane hooked us up, and these are badass like parking lot t-shirts with the heaviest screen print. This is like a 1978 Kiss tour shirt, baby.
Nice.
So that's us. We have a few of those, and
I
be
want
sure to
one.
get you one. Yeah, I'll be sure to get you one. And those are really cool. And that screen print is like,
Yeah.
I think I had like
That's
a
just
Molly
sort of
Hatchet. I had a Molly Hatchet shirt with that. I mean, that's heavy. This shirt's gonna wear out before that does. So my daughter
that's
Jane got us
just sort
that.
of being stitched. That's almost
Yeah,
stitched on there. That's
that's
nice.
screen. Yeah, it's awesome, man. I mean, that is a
Nice.
beautiful shirt. So another thing that kind of choked me up. So that's what I got.
That's great. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely get you
uh,
one.
that's going to be tough to top. Well, I've got some. I don't really have any cards. But I've got some things. Jennifer Roach is a member of our page, and she's a member of the Vintage Fire Sales group. She sells really cool stuff, actually, and she sent me some books just for the heck of it. So I got this 1968 Dell Sports
Hmm.
Kari Strimsky book. So it's kind of like a Street and Smiths, I guess. And it's just got all kinds of different stories in it. So I got that Dell Sports with Yaz on the cover. And then I also got, and man, I used to get way into these books when I was a kid. The Sporting News baseball book. So, and I did football. I would get into football and baseball. This one's also 1968. So, and you leaf through it. Anybody who read when they were a kid and liked sports probably looked through one of these at one point. So, did you ever read those at all, Mark?
Yeah, my favorite was I'm more of a statistical person. I love Who's Who in baseball.
Yeah, yeah. That was
And
a good one.
I was just actually talking with my daughter about how I miss getting the baseball almanac every year, and
Yeah,
I would read it and cover to cover. And I know we have baseball reference and we have it all online, but it's not the same. And
yeah,
I really enjoyed those books. It was like my one. And again, growing up in the middle of nowhere, it was like my window to the world. And so yeah, I enjoyed those a lot.
yeah.
Not so much like Baseball Digest or that, but I like Who's Who in baseball, and then I would get the Baseball Digest or not the Baseball Register, the Baseball Almanac, and I would
Yeah.
get one for football, and I would just start at A and work my way to Z.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would do the same thing. I had one about the AFL. It was like the history of the AFL, like in the almanac form, and
Mhm.
I memorized that thing when I was a kid. It was great. So I also got two more things from Jennifer. She was great. She sent me this December 4th, 1971 Sporting News with Greasy on, and it says Miami's Bob Greasy, deadly efficient. So this is basically he was all world in 1971, and then they went and played the Cowboys and got waxed in the Super Bowl. But that was their first Super Bowl, and then it portended to the next 2 years of just sheer dominance. So we ran roughshod over everybody, which was
Pretty
great.
much.
Glory days. And then the last one, this is April 13th, 1968. Sporting News is the opening day issue. All right, so you got the opening day issue, and
Oh,
you've got Lou Brock on the front. Looks like he hit a pop up. So you got him on the front. These I haven't dug into them a whole lot, these books yet, but they're just amazing.
yeah.
Just brings back a lot of memories. And I wasn't old enough to have experienced any of these, as a kid, but just leafing through them and looking through them, just it's really takes you back to a different time. It's pretty
Jen
cool.
Roach is
So
great, good people. She sent me the Dalmatian card. I had, I think it was card of the week or something. She took that out of her collection because she was selling one in the sale, and somebody had beat me to it by a minute or something, and she found another one, 1939 Dalmatian card. So yeah, Jen Roach is awesome. So
yeah,
really,
she's really cool. She's really cool. I
yeah, really
think she
cool. She's
lives in
got some unique
Tennessee.
stuff. I like her styles because it's a lot of history and
Yeah,
music, and I've got a couple. I got like a CC DeVille rookie card, so
yeah.
yeah, it's been her sales. I really enjoy them because it's more the things that I'm into, and
Right. It's a big variety of stuff. She's
mhm,
got the sports cars, and like you said, she's got the music and the
yeah,
pop culture stuff too, the older stuff, which is very cool.
yeah. I got
So
a Sleepy Chuck Dickens in there. Yeah,
okay.
Sleepy
I
Chuck.
don't even know who that is. Who's Sleepy Chuck?
The writer Chuck Dickens.
Oh, Charles Dickens. Okay.
Yeah, and
Got
Sleepy Chuck.
it. Sleepy Chuck. I've never heard him called that. That's pretty funny.
Sleepy Chuck D. That's what we call him in room six. See, that's how people. That's how we get kids to graduate and enjoy school. When you call Charles Dickens Sleepy Chuck D,
That's pretty
they
funny.
they're more interested in it. So yeah, that was kind of a room six. A little Easter egg hidden thing. Yeah, Sleepy Chuck D.
I
So
love it. I love
yeah,
it. That's
that's
awesome,
that
man.
that that because we study some Dickens in there, and the kids hate it, but that's all right. We're gonna get into Sleepy Chuck D. It makes it a little more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember he wrote Silas Marner, right?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
just he wrote
that
all
was
kind
brutal.
of the Tale of Two Cities and all that stuff.
Yeah, Christmas Carol, obviously.
Yeah, Christmas
So,
Carol.
but yeah, those are my basically my items of the week. So,
Mhm.
Jennifer, very much appreciated. And other than that, I haven't been buying a lot of PC cards. I haven't really found much
No.
gas lately. So it's that well has dried up for a little while. It seems
I
like,
got a
but
couple errands, but not, I already
yeah,
showed them on the show page and I'm not gonna
right.
drag them out.
Well, let's get into what we're going to talk about this week, and I we you and I have talked about it, and just don't want to beat the negativity bell, but some of the things I've noticed on the pages lately have kind of got me a little bit steamed up and developing more of a zero tolerance policy, and as people chiming in on other people's posts, it's just if you got a good card and you're not over describing it, and we'll get into the over describing here in a minute as well, but why do people feel a need, Mark? Why do you think it is that people feel a need to chime in and talk so much about somebody else's stuff? I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It's become an epidemic, really. Uh, it's kind of like buy sell trade. I used to do a lot in there, and that's like more new cards. I don't really lurk in there too much just because of that sarcasm and negativity and the post jumping and it's that social media age that we live in. People got to prove they're the smartest guy in the room or look at me or I'm funny and sometimes silence is golden, right?
Yeah,
I see things that I don't agree with, or somebody will call something a rookie card, maybe it's not, or somebody will have a card that's way overpriced. You just let it go, walk on, move on. There's no need to comment on
right.
it. But there's
Yeah,
such a segment in the hobby, and maybe it pertains to other things too. I'm not really sure, but this is the thing that I'm into, like books, music, movies, sports cards. I don't really see too much in other things, collectible wise, but with the sports card market, everybody's a comedian, a clown, they're negative, they post jump, like you say, why you asking this? You can't, this ain't worth that. And I think part of it is everybody lives and dies by comps and
yeah.
I'm not that guy. I don't know. It's madness, and it gets annoying because it just detracts from sales and it bogs everything down, and it's just kind of the world we live in, I guess.
Well, I'll agree with you there, and I think there's no quicker way to torpedo somebody's sale or auction is by throwing either your 2 cents. I've got there's a number of ways people do it, but the one that gets me the most is they'll post an eBay comp, and I'm going to tell you here right now, I don't know that you can rely on that as a Bible anymore. eBay comps, auctions aren't doing well. People are leaving that platform in droves. Our membership in our big vintage fire sales page is skyrocketing. So I think eBay, give it 3 or 4 years, is going to be the dodo bird here. And so people will post comps. They'll post their own card, the same card. They'll say, well, I've got 15 of that.
Yeah.
And so it's just it's really maddening, and it's I don't understand why people feel the need to just completely continually do it. But you know, I think one thing I do think is that with the influx of new members into the vintage pages, which is where I roam mostly, a lot of these people are coming over from modern because the modern market is just not good, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I think the rules are different. Um, the modern mentality, people are a little bit younger and just kind of shoot from the hip verbally, and I think that's bad. So,
Yeah.
do you have
Yeah, I
any
would
thoughts on that?
never, again, it's has some class, have some dignity. I would never comment on anything like that. And sometimes I'll send you a message and point something out that is a little off, but it is what it is. Move on, walk on, right? Why
Right,
why jump in there and honestly, a lot of times if people, if you're gonna comment on somebody's cards, maybe they just really don't know, they're just ignorant to it or they don't care or whatever. But just, walk on, move on.
right.
You know,
Well,
it
and
it's
if you
not.
absolutely feel a need to chime in, message them.
Yeah,
You don't have to put
exactly.
it you don't have to put it in public. If it's
Yeah.
if it's an obvious omission, if somebody's got the 1979 Dale Murphy listed as a rookie card, which
Yeah, then
we've
I go, oh, that's
seen.
his third rookie. That guy was a trip. But you know what? But here it is. So we had fun with that guy, but he stuck to it, man. And God
Yeah,
bless him. you know.
Yeah,
So and ultimately it wasn't a bad exchange with the guy.
right.
He was not backing off it, and he believed that that was the special third Dal Murphy rookie card, and God bless. So
Oh
what are you
yeah.
gonna do? You know
Well,
why?
yeah, and you
Yeah.
there's ways to be subtle too.
Mhm.
You don't have to just come in guns blazing and say, hey, that's not the rookie. You can also say you can message them. There's ways to, I guess, get your point across really with any part of life and not have to be a tone deaf dumbass. You
And
know what I
God
mean?
bless them and revel in it and enjoy it. And we look at the hobby differently. I mean, I do way differently. I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. I like to have a good time with it. But I tell you, there's probably over 50 people that whatever we see that 1979 Dal Murphy, we go, oh, that's a special third rookie card, right? So,
Yeah,
and Chris Frank, I claimed on one of his sales a while back, and he sent it to me in a rookie card top loader. So, this is rookie card. So, I mean,
yeah,
there's a whole segment of us that when we see the 79 Dal Murphy, we're like, third rookie card. So, yeah,
yeah,
have fun with it, embrace it, and who cares? It's a dollar card. Why am I going to get into a freaking 3 day long conversation and ruin a guy's sale? And you
yeah,
know, because ultimately people start looking at all that bullshit, the back and the forth, and you're an asshole, and kiss my ass, and your mama, and all this shit, and it's over,
yeah. The auction's done. The
It's
auction's done.
done.
Now, there are some exceptions, and I will say this: if somebody, and this is also epidemic, I think, over description of cards, sharp, centered, blazer, banger, blah blah blah. Anything you can think of. There was one yesterday. I'm not going to name the seller, but it was absolutely flawless, is what the description said. Absolutely flawless, and you know somebody points out a flaw. I mean, if you're going to put in your post description absolutely flawless, you need to be ready to defend that, defend that stance. And the post was reported for post jumping, and I removed the comment, but I said, look, I said to the seller, I said, man, you've got to work on your descriptions, you got to
Yeah.
work on your pictures. So sometimes people bring it on themselves by doing what they do. So I don't know,
I just
man.
put sharp, that's the only qualifier I ever usually see in my sales. I'll put sharp. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Sharp, nice. I'm not
yeah,
gonna say it's mint, gem mint, flawless, this, that. Sharp card. Look at it. There's your picture. That's it. I would
right.
never describe. And I remember the cardboard adults. Their big tag was cardboard adults. It was pack fresh and minty. Everything was packed fresh and minty. It's
Yeah,
like okay,
minty.
1964 Topps baseball pack fresh. Give me a break. It,
Right.
so that was yeah, and then that's an instant turn off too. And then there's another two. The one thing that aggravates me, not to be like, it's the 4th of July, God bless America, but when dealing with graded cards and they put description and they oversell it and mint and gem mint and it's an 8. It's not mint, it's
Right.
not gem mint. It's not minty. It's not, it's a PSA 8. It's a SGC 8.
Right.
It is what it is. But so when people have sell of undergraded or just shut
Yeah.
up.
Right. Right. Oh,
Shut
yeah, I see that all the time too.
up.
Looks amazing for a three.
Yeah,
I
oh
mean,
yeah. I have a whole box of ones and twos that are amazing, but I would never
right.
put them up on a sale and say, "Oh, it's amazing." And I joke around. I say that it's a 1, but it looks like a 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. This should have gotten a 5, but it got a 1. Yeah.
No, right on.
There's just so many in it, and I think it's salesman mentality, and I wonder how much of it's AI. Like people are using AI for their
Could be,
descriptions.
yeah.
So I don't think
You
people.
can, yeah, because on eBay they do it. I just sold a couple things on eBay, which was a shock to me. I hadn't sold anything on eBay in over a year,
Yeah.
and oh my God, I sold something for 120, and I
Let's see.
got
Let's hear the breakdown of what you actually got.
here's the eBay breakdown. Sold it for 120, and I ended up getting $92.
So, all right. So let me get my cat. Hold on. Let me get my calculator real quick.
Oh, I got $92.
All right, so 120. Whoops, hold on. 120 minus 92 is $28. So
Yep.
you paid
That was the
23.
shipping. So the shipping I had to get it through eBay and not pirate ship, which I usually use. So the shipping was nearly $6, and then eBay took the rest for themselves.
23.33% total fees.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they also it goes you don't get paid until the buyer gets the item. So it's definitely buyer
Wow.
friendly on eBay. You could say almost anything you want probably and get a refund. And but fortunately it went good. I
Sure.
got shipped it right out straight away and I got paid. So you can do for $2, it's crazy eBay. So for a fee you can get Instapay or you can for a fee you can get a promoted. It's just nuts. So it's absolutely insanity. But
Yeah.
these weren't baseball cards. These were just some items I'd inherited. I didn't want them, and I ended up turning it into a Hank Aaron. That's how I got that 57 Hank Aaron. I sold a
Right.
couple things and got the 57 Hank Aaron, something in, something out. But I'm like, oh my God. And then I sold another thing for $100 and I got like $72. So yeah,
Wow.
eBay is grabbing the but yeah, there's no more like PayPal. It goes right to your bank account. So and you don't
Yeah.
have a
You
say
have
in
to
it.
wait.
Yeah, and you gotta wait. So you gotta wait on it.
Yeah.
So you don't get paid until they give you your good feedback and all. So it's not like how it used to be.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna
Well,
do?
I went to a show last weekend and bought some Michael Jordan cards and put them on eBay and put them for a fair price. Some star cards,
Mhm.
and they sat on eBay for 7 hours with zero views.
Yeah,
And I put it up in the group. I put it up in the group. I ended the listing because I was disgusted, and I
sure.
put it up on the group, and it sold
Gone, right.
in 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I kept all of the $20, and I just, it's just not for me. I'll go there and buy stuff all day,
Let's say
but
look
I'm not.
the one vintage site that I almost blurted out, which now some people that we don't really care for are finding their way over there. I put stuff up there, man. It's gone in like 5 minutes, 2 minutes. I mean,
Yeah. Do you
yeah.
want to name that site? I mean, I think we should drive some more traffic. You want to or not
Yeah,
really?
sure, let's do it. Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Go
Well, it's a
for it.
low grade vintage, low grade. And
Hmm.
what I've noticed about that site too is it's not always low grade, so you got to
No,
look
no.
because sometimes,
I saw good
yeah,
stuff on
sometimes.
there. Yeah. Yeah, low grade
Oh
vintage
yeah, yeah,
people,
you do.
definitely
You sell
check
stuff I
it.
don't even know you have, and I'm like, you sell stuff you don't. I didn't even know you had, and I'm like, damn, Mark, why didn't you
Yeah.
tell me you had that? But yeah, it's a good site. It's a good site.
Yeah,
Low
low
grade
grade vintage.
vintage,
Love
and
it. It's rapidly
yeah, very
becoming
good.
one
So
of my favorite places. And that Lee Cho, oh my God. If you're lucky enough to get something from
yeah,
him, right? His prices are ridiculous.
yeah, yeah, they're really really good, and he sends good stuff. Um, I'm actually working on something with him, but I'll keep that under wraps for now. But
Right
he,
on.
yeah, and I don't. I wonder if he ever sleeps because he's just listing stuff all the time. But Lee's a good dude, and he really has nice stuff. And if it's on the low grade site with Lee, it's not going to be as nice as it is on some of the stuff he
Yeah.
auctions, but it's still good for the price for sure. So that's a really great site. One thing I did. You have anything else you want to comment on with
No, I'm good,
all
man.
the yeah, yeah. Let's go. Let's wrap it up and get back to our families and all that, and let
Yeah,
everybody else
Fourth of
do the
July, baby.
same. But
Hmm.
do you have any? We talked a little bit before the show. Let's hear some of your favorite patriotic songs.
Oh,
You
favorite
got some ones you
patriotic
like?
songs. So actually I am as much as a rock and roller and metalhead as I am. I love Neil Diamond. So
I was gonna. That's
yeah.
oh
Did I steal your
yeah,
song?
yeah. That's okay.
Coming
I'll
to
sing.
America, right? Right on.
Come to America. Yeah, that's a great song,
Today,
man.
my country
Today,
is
that's
to be today, right? Sweet land of liberty. All right, Neil
land
Diamond,
of
America.
liberty.
Yep.
Yep. Neil Diamond, America. I get goosebumps when I hear that song still, man. It's a good one. Um, you know, the Proud to Be an American.
Mhm.
It's okay. The Lee Greenwood song. It's not bad. Um, just the standard fare. God bless America. But yeah, I was really gonna pump up Neil Diamond because I love that song, man.
Yeah, I love that song.
if you don't if that song doesn't get you going a little,
Mhm.
you got something wrong with you. So that's my
Definitely.
opinion. But
Get something wrong.
other than that,
You're a
just
freaking
the standard stuff.
communist, man. You're a damn
You gonna go
communist.
watch some fireworks
I'm gonna blow some up. All right. So,
tonight?
there's actually Crash-A-Rama
Oh,
up
that's
in
right. You did say that.
Clearwater. Yeah, but I don't know if we're gonna go up. They got like figure eight races and the school bus races and all that. So I don't know if we're gonna go up or not. But we're gonna
Where's
launch
and oh, over
in
in Bithlo?
Clearwater. Yeah,
Oh,
Clearwater.
Clearwater.
Yeah, someplace up
Okay,
there. So I
well,
might
that's
do.
cool. You
Yeah.
ever been to the ones in Bithlo?
No, not been a bit low.
Well, yeah. If you ever want to go to a figure eight bus race or a
Oh,
demolition
Bithlo.
derby,
Yeah, yeah. Orlando Speed World. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I got confused. Down 50. Yeah. It's Colonial. Yeah.
yep,
We were just there. Night of Destruction. Yeah. It's Speed
yeah.
World in Orlando. Yeah. I love it. It's great, man.
It
Yep.
is great.
I've
It's
been there.
fun. It's been years, but it is fun.
Yeah. It's
So,
crazy. Carnage. Total carnage. America.
well,
All
this has been
right,
fun,
then.
man. Happy
Yeah.
birthday,
Great
America.
show. Everybody have a great 4th of July, the rest of your weekend. And as always, thanks for, spending some time with us and helping us do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody, happy 249, America. It's next year's a big one. It's a quarter millennium.
Right on.
So,
All right.
yeah, everybody have a great year.
Yep. God bless America, everybody. Take care.